I honestly don't think that Pogba is the right player for Madrid.
Why haven't you mentioned the 13 Premier Leagues that Sir Alex Ferguson won?
Every day we live, oh yeah. Live it up, live it to the fullest, oh yeah.
So that and more coming up in the next few minutes as myself and Paddy go through some of your questions. It's Q&A time.
I'm up first from Al Shawari 92. I think Rashford is wasting his career at United. He should move to a regular Champions League club or under a good manager where he can improve. I think he can be a top 10 player in the world if he does that.
There's so many shots fired against Man United in one comment.
Good timing last night, of course, to talk about Rashford. Yeah.
Is he wasting his career? On one hand, you could say that he's not playing at the top level consistently, but on the other hand, he's playing consistently.
Yes.
Like he's actually going to play. If he went to a big team, like, I don't know, if Barcelona signed him or someone, and you weren't playing regularly, I'm not saying it'd be a waste of a career, but he's at that age where he needs to
We probably don't see him at a Barcelona or Real Madrid. So maybe let's at least say, could we see him at a Man City?
No.
If Gabriel Jesus was to go...
Yeah, but then you'd still be playing second fiddle to Aguero.
For at least a year or so. Yeah.
Okay, you'd go if he's guaranteed football.
Yeah.
But if he's not guaranteed consistent football, it's a complete waste of time. When he's like 26, 27, then go to a big club to win trophies.
I mean, the fact that no one's talking about him like they are a Sancho or other players of that sort of age and ilk means that probably for now he should be fairly happy at United.
Yeah, I think he should stay. Under a better manager, yes, he could develop more than under Ole, but I don't see him going so soon. Seifeld in Islam has said, do you think Mbappe moving to Real Madrid or Barcelona could harm his career like it has with other players like Coutinho, Kaká, Courtois?
It's a good question. I mean, it's really a sliding doors thing, isn't it? You just never know. I'm sure when Coutinho, Kaká and Courtois, who still has a bit of time to prove himself at Real Madrid, of course, I'm sure when they moved, they thought everything was going to be fine. No one moves to a club, expecting the worst. Yeah. With Mbappe, I think it depends on what time of his career he moves. Does he move too early? I mean, we've seen with Jovic, he struggled. Yeah. That being said, Mbappe is a far better, more established player. I think that Mbappe is ready to go, to be honest. I don't think the Ligue 1 is going to give him much more of a challenge as it is now. I think now is the time to go, or now or next season is the time to go.
I agree. Whether it's now or in 10 years' time, he's going to be the best player in the world and play in any league he wants and smash it. Yeah. Regardless.
He's quality. He's clear quality, and I think that'll show through wherever he goes.
Yeah. Yep. And also, when players like Coutinho and Kaká were signed, you said they were going to do well. The clubs obviously signed them with the best intentions.
Of course, yeah.
You don't sign someone hoping that they do poorly.
So there's examples for and against every time, Okay, from KingNoggin, why do you think Manchester United are so good against the bigger clubs, but horrible against smaller clubs?
This literally comes down to what I think many teams face, and I've seen Spurs face it many times. When opposing teams play quite a low defence, the low block, as Mourinho always says, you struggle to break them down unless you're extremely quick or you've got a brilliant dictator of the play, which Man United do not have. Yep. Their number 10 role, someone like James Maddison who could come in and find those key passes, they'd be brilliant. Right? Pogba isn't necessarily that far forward to impact the play. Think of what like David Silva does, right, at Manchester City. Fred and Matic and McTominay are decent passers. They're not going to be in and around that role. United play best on the counter-attack when a team comes at them, like a big team who are willing to assert their own dominance. And Rashford and Martial are so quick, they've got space in behind to run.
And there's holes there because the team's committed forward.
Exactly, there's so many holes for the counter. When everyone sits back, United haven't quite got the player who's got the key. And that's
I don't think that's an exclusively United
problem. Oh no, absolutely not.
We saw it a lot with Germany, for example, during the last World Cup. They struggled to push through because they were too slow in the transition. That's what happens.
I literally think apart from City and Liverpool and Leicester, a lot of teams struggle with that. Yeah. That's why that kind of defensive thing is so effective, because it is difficult to break down.
I mean, there are good clubs, Bayern, for example, who do it very well in the Bundesliga and in Europe as well. But there are many clubs who struggle to break that down. It's as simple as that.
Next up from Yasha, what do you think about Freddie Ljungberg at Arsenal?
I think it's temporary. It's completely temporary. I think Ljungberg, I don't know much about him as a coach, but I think we should probably assume that Arsenal are looking far and wide to find a coach who has more experience, who has more, I guess, a bit more reputation for working with bigger players as well. We've seen with Solskjaer, it's been a bit of a struggle. We've seen with guys like Henry and Patrick Vieira in France now, struggling to have a big impact when their job is too big for them as an early manager. Yeah, and I think with Lundberg, it's his first job. It would be very, very difficult to assume that he's going to be able to make a fist of it at Arsenal when they have as many issues as they do.
Yeah, I think it's bigger than Lundberg.
Yeah. Who do you see? Allegri?
If they can get Allegri in, it'd be great.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I think he'd do really, really well at Arsenal. I just think that someone else actually mentioned it very quickly, saying, why do teams keep hiring old managers? Old players? What is this thing? Lampard and Solskjaer and Lundberg.
That sort of thing. I mean, you meant old, like...
No. Yeah. As in older players. I don't quite get it. If you've proven yourself, Lampard had a fantastic season at Derby, not proven massively, a good year, but as a Solskjaer and Lundberg...
But also there's a difference between coming in as a Lampard, and it's not like Chelsea were in crisis, do you know what I mean? Whereas there is definitely an air of crisis around Arsenal. Yeah. There was definitely an air, and there is an air of crisis around United, despite the win over Spurs. That there's things that you need an experienced manager to fix. And I think with Arsenal, of where they are at the moment, they probably need someone with a bit more experience in the long term.
Interim at best, like you said.
Yep. So from CR7DC, can Divock Origi become an elite striker like Lewandowski or Benzema?
No. I don't think Origi's that level of Lewandowski and Benzema. And also, much like with Marcus Rashford, he's not playing. And over the summer when him and I think his father's his agent came out and said, we don't want to leave Liverpool, regardless. That to me really says that, and it's not a bad thing, he's putting, he's almost not selfish enough to go on and be those top players. Those top players have to want to score and play every single minute of every game. Richard Sarri took Ronaldo off for 10 minutes and he went nuts. You have to be in that mindset.
Not everyone is a Ronaldo.
No, but it's true. Yeah. But if you take any of these big players off, which they absolutely hate because they want to play every minute and score every game, that's what makes you that top level of striker. If Origi's happy to sit at Liverpool, happy to sit on the bench because he's not overtaking Salah, Mane or Firmino, and happy to just sort of say, yeah, you know what, I'll pop up here and there, a quick goal against Everton, a quick Champions League goal. I'm not saying it's a bad gig if you can get it.
Yeah, and I mean, Origi's also sort of seen things on the other side of the fence. He had his time at Wolfsburg, which was, did okay, but not spectacularly. He's also probably seen how someone like Batshuayi has tried to, repeatedly find another place and has bounced around and has ended up back at Chelsea with nowhere else to go. Origi, as we know, had some heroics last season. The Reds, they love him. He's got a place. He's one injury away from a starting lineup anyway.
Yeah, he's got it so good.
Yeah, why would you go anywhere? It's a good place to be at the moment, Anfield. So if he's going to get enough games, 2/3 of the season, then
he's fine. Yeah, he's not going to reach that level, but he's doing fine for him.
Yep.
Right, Chibueze Dike, I think it's pronounced, has said, with the uprise of Valverde, Fede Valverde, not Ernesto, definitely not an uprise of him, should Madrid still buy Paul Pogba?
I mean, I don't even think Valverde's, emergence actually makes a bit of a difference on Pogba. I honestly don't think that Pogba is the right player for Madrid in any case. It remains to be seen how much Zidane really, really wants Pogba in his team. And I think every day that goes past and Pogba makes less and less of an impact, obviously for fitness reasons at the moment, at United, I think he loses a little bit. And I think with Real Madrid also having their issues, I think there's probably other players out there that they can probably get that are going to be more reliable, less problematic when it comes to egos that Real Madrid desperately need.
They were linked with Fabian Ruiz from Napoli.
And maybe Valverde continues to get opportunities as well, but I don't think it should be one or the other.
No, and I also don't think Valverde is going to be as good as Pogba technically wise, or what he can bring.
No, probably not. Yeah. But certainly
a more solid choice.
Certainly a good youth player and a prospect. But I think if they're going to go for another midfielder, and they probably will, of course, then I don't know if Pogba is going to be the answer anyway.
Especially at 150 million.
That's a lot for a player who really hasn't done much in about a year or so for both fitness and form reasons.
Yeah, true.
From X-Blade X, why do teams change the way they play when they go up against Liverpool and City, but when it comes comes to the other teams, they play their normal game. We've probably addressed this a little bit in the
Yeah, I was going to address pretty much for that low block reason. You just don't want to get battered.
No, that's true.
You don't want to go out and get hammered.
Hope that one of these big teams have got their eye off the ball. You can sneak a draw or a late winner, a best case scenario. I mean, that's basically it.
I don't think the teams always change completely how they play. If you look at Norwich's victory over Man City was really good. They scored 3 goals. They won 3-2. They went 3-1 up. And a late goal from Rodri sort of made it 3-2. You can play in your way, your style of play, in bits and pieces throughout the game. It's just about being more smarter and picking those moments rather than having the 90 minutes of gung-ho action planned out.
Agreed. Yeah. And we can end it there because you can talk about tactics all day.
Yes.
And I think we've done quite enough already this show.
I will do. Right, next up, Lars van Ulster said, do you think Lionel Messi should have won the Ballon d'Or? I knew we'd come on to the Ballon d'Or.
It's a Ballon d'Or week. Why wouldn't we?
Or should it have been someone else?
Listen, I think if we'd had the Ballon d'Or decided mid-year, which I know that it's not, it's based on a year.
It should be though, yeah?
It should be, correct.
Yeah.
It should be season to season. Then Van Dijk would have won it.
Yes.
I just think the first half of the season that Messi has had with Barcelona, in a Barcelona team that's struggled more than it has almost than any other team with Messi in it, he's been exceptional.
Yeah.
He's been exceptional. He's pulled them out of the hole so many times.
Yeah.
Valverde is the only reason he's got a job is because Messi has been as good as he has this season. And I think that has made the difference on the final decision.
I don't know why they don't change it.
Me neither. Me neither. I think they like to have some sort of Christmas gala event. And they maybe also don't want to share the limelight with any World Cup or Euros. But it makes sense to do it from season to season. I don't get it.
But what I also don't understand is that if they held Van Dijk and Liverpool's clean sheet record against them the first half of the season, which has been, pretty terrible, 22 in 24, I think. And if they took Messi's start to the season, they didn't do that for the last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Modric's start to last season was horrendous. He won it based off the World Cup and the 6 months before that. Ronaldo the year before that, so it seems very inconsistent to me.
I agree. And this is what having it on a calendar year does. It creates that doubt. People forget because people's mindset goes from season to season, not a whole season, not a whole year when it comes to football. So I think that really played a part in Messi winning it, which is completely deserved. Of course, he's a fantastic player. But I think Van Dijk, that's probably what lost Van Dijk the award, in my opinion.
I'm sticking with Messi.
Yeah, I'm happy with it too. Yeah. From Turf Tucker, is Alex Ferguson actually the greatest manager of all time, considering he's only won the Champions League twice only? So have Mourinho and Guardiola, of course, and only recorded 90 plus points totals in the league just twice. The second fact doesn't make too much of a difference on greats or non-greats.
Yeah, I mean the whole this sounds like a very sort of Man City geared question or Liverpool geared question from recent times.
Is that true, Turf?
Yeah, is that true? You're just comparing to the 100 points that City got. There's so many bits to pick apart. I actually don't like this question because they've just picked 2 bits that are sort of debatable. Why haven't you mentioned the 13 Premier Leagues that Sir Alex Ferguson won? Or the countless FA Cups, League Cups and other European Cups? Yeah. You can't just pick the 2, and they're not even bad.
Or the fantastic players that have come through.
Or the fact that and as we've seen in football, that managers 4 or 5 years are done with their cycle. Players get bored. The fact he managed to keep things fresh and be a manager for, 27 years at United is massively overlooked. And they just haven't mentioned all the good bits that he did.
So then going back to the initial question, is he the greatest manager of all time?
I think so, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think, and then before that he won loads with Aberdeen, who, and European Cups with Aberdeen as well. That'd be unheard of.
It's going to take some beating.
Yeah.
It's always a question you can argue about, of course, but if anyone has a case for it, it's
the longevity of it as well,
Alex
and the
Ferguson.
consistency. Right, next up, Yazir Khan. Can a game with I really like this question. Can a game with 0 goals scored by either team be interesting? Is it all about the goals, or could people appreciate the technical aspects of football?
So of course, yes, definitely a 0-0 can be super, super interesting. I think what helps is that if you have a bit of background on the teams, on the players, on the tactics and the approaches of each team. If you just come in blind and you're just like, team A versus team B, 0-0, probably not going to get you off the edge of your seat. But if you know a bit about these stories, what's happening behind the scenes, where these 2 teams are coming into, I think a 0-0 can be as interesting as any other game.
I can't remember who said it. It was Johan Cruyff or someone who said technically a 0-0 is the perfect game of football.
Did he also elaborate a little bit? Because I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I can't remember the rest of it, but he
That's
said...
for next week.
Yeah, he said it's the perfect game of football because there'd be no mistakes. But then I also don't get it because the possession would never change hands if there were no mistakes.
Fair enough.
So I don't quite get it.
No, well, we need to maybe dig a bit deeper in that quote.
The only way it would be good is if there were loads of mistakes, but just no one scored. If you hit the post and the bar and there was red cards and keepers flying about, but there's no one managed to score.
But it can still definitely be, 0-0 can definitely be interesting.
As they say, it probably is one for the purists rather than from an entertainment value.
Yeah, because you need to know a bit of background.
Yeah,
it's as simple
exactly,
as that. Derek, before we get into the next question, of course, make sure you guys subscribe and in terms of asking us questions,
every Wednesday evening on the YouTube community post.
Yep.
That's where you can let us know, and as Paddy said, I normally do that bit.
Yeah,
it's quite a change. I like it.
I liked it too. It felt fresh. It felt fresh.
Felt good. Hey, you guys can subscribe.
From Eshan Mane, I just thought you'd forgot. From Eshan Mane, which is more harmful, VAR or increasing wages in the long run?
Ooh. In the long run, I don't know. I think football would just evolve and get used to both of them.
It's got to be wages, surely.
No, because
VAR, you can refine, you can optimise, you can iterate.
Yeah, but how's it going to ruin football for you? If there's still 11 players and they're still playing football every week, it doesn't matter what they're earning.
I honestly think the divide between the big clubs and the small and the rest
from that point of view,
will very much be amplified if wages
I think you meant the increasing wages as a whole in football.
No, I don't care what footballers are paid. I mean, it's nice if they could give a bit back, some of the bigger ones, and some of them do, of course.
Yes, but, then yes, in terms of the divide it would cause, wages. Yeah, VAR could be fixed or scrapped altogether.
Yeah, how's that? I asked that question and answered it myself.
Boom.
Yeah.
Stealing my thunder today.
Yeah, you're right.
Shivan Shekhar next. If Napoli are selling Koulibaly at the end of the season or in the winter, which club needed more, Real Madrid or Man City?
Man City, for sure. I mean, Real Madrid definitely need to start looking at who comes through. With Ramos and Varane not exactly on the on the right end of their careers, or at least coming into the twilight. But there's still time. Don't get me wrong. Varane's still not ancient or anything like that.
Well, Varane's late 20s.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine, but Ramos is 34.
Exactly. So they definitely need to look at what happens. But I think in terms of the short term, definitely City need a centre back, and Koulibaly would be a fantastic addition.
Wow. Yeah, and especially they haven't replaced Kompany.
No,
that's a big thing.
Exactly. Okay, from Welcome to Anime. All right, who do you think will be the best replacement for Valverde? I guess this is the Barcelona one.
Yes.
My pick is Pep. I guess, do you agree with Welcome to Anime, or do you have a better replacement in mind?
I saw a lot about Gallardo, or I'm not sure quite how to say his
Gallardo
name.
from River Plate.
Who did some fantastic things. Looks like an interesting coach with some interesting ideas, but maybe doesn't quite have that authority to deal with such massive players at Barcelona.
He was a legend. I mean, he's not going to walk in as a nobody. But I get your point.
True.
I get your point.
Someone with a bit more pedigree, maybe, not reputation-wise. But interestingly, actually, they mentioned your pick is Pep. Guardiola's dad was saying in the press the last few days he thinks that his son will return to Barcelona.
Okay.
It's a very odd club though, because it's not just returning to coach the team. You return with all the politics that go on.
100%.
And the presidential elections coming up, I think in 2021 at Barcelona. It's not Pep just being like, I'll take over again, I'll sign the contract. It's very, very complicated.
Sure. No, I tend to agree. I think Pep would be one of the more logical ones. It's really a head scratcher though, isn't it? Like, the last couple of coaches, haven't gone for the top level. They've tried to make longer term decisions based on, not necessarily only reputation, but also results, and it hasn't really worked out.
It is. You're looking at two coaches who are going to either pick up the end of a Messi career or the start of the after Messi life.
Imagine coaching Barcelona without Messi.
Oh my God, it'd be so difficult. But then again, it may give a whole sort of new angle on the team where you can bring in loads of players, you can try new things, because every new thing that you try, right, when you say, I'm going to try Ousmane Dembele and Griezmann this week, as soon as you don't put Messi in the team, or you screw over Messi, or he doesn't perform, you get hate. And this is the problem that Valverde's faced, that everything he does, he could say, I've done this, and this, and everyone will say, yeah, but Messi.
I get that, but I still think coaching a team without Messi you won't have time. That doesn't buy you patience from the club.
No, I'm not saying it does.
You still have to find a way to win. It's probably the most difficult time to, instead of, like Valverde's had this season, Messi to either, pick up the team by the scruff of the neck in the last few minutes and score and bring them across the line, and you won't have that.
It's actually probably easier coaching them now, though. Because now you could just sit back and be like, okay, Messi, do your thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, God, that was a tough one, though. I mean, I don't know. Let us know yours.
Yeah.
Obviously, who'd replace Valverde. But lastly, Nico 003. Are you afraid that the German team, who has just reached 300k, they have done, can pass the English channel?
So yeah, if you do speak German, make sure you make it a few more than 300k, because the guys do a great job over there. And we have Nico in here quite a bit.
I was going to say, maybe if they really wanted to overtake us, Nico would ban himself from coming on our channel.
Maybe, yeah. Or he would get on and be real shit.
Oh, and then ruin it.
Yeah, and the mole.
Yeah.
No, just to be clear, that this user's name is Nico003, but it looks like it's spelt differently.
Yeah.
Than
this
than
isn't
the
Nico.
Although, knowing Nico, he probably thinks that's incognito. So, are we afraid? No, we're definitely not afraid. Yeah. It's obviously fantastic, and long may the race continue.
It's a collective one football umbrella that
a little bit of healthy rivalry. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're not too worried.
Yeah, absolutely fine. But thanks so much for all of your questions. As Paddy said, subscribe, and as I said, look out for the community post every Wednesday night on YouTube, where you guys can leave your questions for the week's Q&A. But until next time, that's all from us. So we'll see you later.